It wasn't supposed to happen. Not like this, not so soon. For decades, Israel and Iran had danced around the edge of conflict. A silent war played out in shadows and deserts, in digital vaults and foreign embassies. Missiles were launched through proxies. Assassins moved in silence. Cyber armies paralyzed cities without setting foot on enemy soil. But for all the tension, all the threats, all the near misses, there was still one thread holding it all back: direct confrontation. And yet, in the early months of 2025, that thread snapped, and when it did, it lit a match that the world could not put out. The roots stretched deep. Before there were drone strikes and atomic fears, before Hezbollah and uranium enrichment, there was a time, hard to imagine now, when Iran and Israel were not enemies at all. Back in the 1950 and 60, under the rule of the Western-backed Shah, Iran was a secular, progressive monarchy. Israel was young, isolated, and surrounded by hostile Arab neighbors. The two found common ground in their loneliness. Oil and intelligence flowed quietly between Tehran and Tel Aviv. Their partnership was not loud, but it was real. Both needed each other, and for a while, they believed that was enough. Then came 1979. The revolution in Iran was not just political, it was spiritual, cultural, absolute. The Shah fell, Ayatollah Khomeini rose, Iran was reborn as an Islamic republic, driven by a mission not just to reform its society but to reshape the entire Muslim world. And at the core of that vision was a declaration that Israel was not merely an adversary, but an abomination, a stain to be removed. Within days, embassies closed, flags burned, and the quiet alliance between the two nations turned into seething hatred. From that point on, the war simmered, but never quite boiled. Iran poured billions into arming and training proxy militias. Israel responded with targeted airstrikes, assassinations, and cyber warfare. Iran encircled Israel with threats: Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, militias in Iraq and Syria, and the Houthis in Yemen. Israel watched, struck, and prepared. Each side knew the other's strengths. Each side feared what full war would mean, and so, for over 4 decades, they stopped just short. Until 2025. It began with an explosion, not in Israel, not in Iran, but in Syria, where Iranian Quds Force commanders were meeting inside a secret bunker outside Damascus. A precision airstrike turned the facility into rubble. Iran knew exactly who was behind it. The fingerprints were too perfect, the timing too surgical. This wasn't a rogue strike, it was a message. Iran didn't wait for confirmation. Within 72 hours they responded, and not through proxies. Hundreds of drones and cruise missiles were launched directly from Iranian territory. They weren't aimed at Lebanon or the Golan Heights. They flew straight for Israel's air bases, its nuclear research centers, its command hubs, and for the first time in history, Israel activated full wartime defense protocols against Iran itself. The world held its breath. In the skies above Tel Aviv, Iron Dome interceptors lit up like fireworks. But not everything was stopped. A missile struck near Dimona, Israel's nuclear facility. Another hit a reserve base near Beersheba. Civilian casualties mounted, markets panicked, oil prices surged. The war that had been feared for decades was no longer theoretical, it was unfolding live in high definition for the world to see. Israel's response was immediate and unforgiving. Wave after wave of fighter jets launched from Negev air bases. Targets included radar stations, nuclear sites, missile depots, all inside Iranian borders. It wasn't a message, it wasn't a warning, it was war. And it didn't stop there. Israel activated special operations units deep in Iraq and Syria. Sabotage teams struck oil refineries. Submarines lurking in the Persian Gulf launched missiles from the sea. The battlefield had no borders now. If you want to understand the deeper forces that drive today's wars, subscribe now.